Hey everyone, we are back for another Marvel Legends review, taking a look at Marvel's Poison this time around. So this is a character that I'm honestly not too familiar with. I just know what I have researched, so I don't sound like an idiot when I talk about him. Oh, I think he looks pretty cool. I've actually been interested in this particular figure just because I dig his design, so hopefully he pans out as a figure. He's in our white box. We've got the webbing in the background. We've got the Venom logo on the front. Marvel's Poison down there on the bottom, and on the back we've got a write-up, Build-A-Figure, product lineup, as well as a product shot of Poison. So let's pull this guy out and take a closer look. And here he is out of the packaging, our Poison figure. And if after watching this video I have compelled you to buy one of these for yourself, head on over to BigBadToyStore.com. I will put a link down below where you can snatch one of these for yourself. But let's jump right into this review, and I'm going to say right off the bat that I have really no idea what this is or who this is or what it's supposed to be. I know that it's something that is not a friend to Venom. I know that it's related to Spider-Man in some fashion, but beyond that I have no idea. I just think he looks cool. So we're going to start off with articulation, of course, and let's see how this guy moves around. So of course we'll start at the top and work our way down. As far as the head, you can move it side to side, you can go back, you can go down. He has a little bob kind of forward and backward, actually quite a bit. Nothing really side to side though, so there's a lot of motion on the head and nothing really getting in the way. The arms can go all the way out, but this is one of those figures where you kind of have to make sure you kind of pop the joint down a bit because there's that ridge that's going to hit it. So just make sure you push it down a little bit, it'll go out just fine. Arm swivels, bicep swivel. We have got double jointed elbows. They're pretty much just 90 degrees or maybe a little bit higher. Not huge range of motion, but more than enough. You have got hinges and swivels at the wrist. We have got an ab crunch. He can go forward. He can go back, but only slightly. And then, of course, you've got a waist twist. We have got legs that go out that far. Full kick forward, a little bit backwards, thigh cut, double jointed knees. Not the greatest there. We have got a boot cut or shin swivel. And then we've got rocker and hinge. So pretty standard range of motion for a Marvel Legends figure. Nothing too crazy, nothing extra, but nothing missing either. Now, as far as the way this guy looks, his overall design, and everything else about this figure, what you see is what you get. This is the whole shebang. There is no accessories. Nothing else comes with this particular figure. But in general, I do think he looks pretty cool. I do have a few, I don't know, maybe gripes about his overall paint. But in general, I do think he looks pretty sweet. I mean, it's a different design. It's pretty striking color scheme. It's this pearl white with the silver piping, and then, of course, the black spider emblem with the tendrils that are whatever they are. I have no idea what these things are supposed to be, but I do think he looks pretty sweet. You know, he looks very much mechanical, armorized, you know, like an Iron Man, Spider-Man type of mashup almost. You know, again, I don't know what this guy is. I just know that it's got something to do with Spider-Man, but he looks pretty sweet. There is a ton of sculpted detail all over him. Even on the back, there is a lot of sculpt work going in here, and a lot of what's on the front of the figure is painted. All of these sculpted lines are painted with the silver piping, but a lot of them also aren't. Like there's some here on the upper thighs that aren't. We've got a lot of that piping on the hands that aren't. And then nothing on the backside of this figure is. And that's really my one gripe with this particular figure, is that as much as I like all the silver embellishments that he has, I just wish they were everywhere. I know obviously they've got a paint operations quota that they hit, and I'm sure that's what happened here. They couldn't put any more silver paint on this guy, so they didn't, but I really wish they did. Granted, again, I don't know if he's actually supposed to have paint on the back or if there should be that silver piping on the backside of him, but I kind of have to assume that there is, and even if there isn't, I think he would look cooler with it. He does have these kind of flared spines coming out. They are painted, the silver tips on them, and then of course we've got the black paint on the eyes, and then this kind of mouthpiece that he's got here, which is pretty cleanly painted. I don't have any real issues with paint applications outside of the fact that I just wish there were more. Beyond that, I mean, the rest of the figure is fairly standard in terms of what you think you're getting. It's kind of an armorized Spider-Man type of look, but there is a lot of sculpt going on here. Everything up here is sculpted ridges. We've got, you know, everything you see is basically textured to some degree. And then you've got all of the musculature sculpted down here on the legs. We do have this sculpted gripping style hand, and we've got a fist. I kind of wish he had interchangeable hands. I'd like to be able to change him up a bit, but it's not too big of a deal. Of course, the big thing, maybe the most striking detail about this figure, is whatever in the world is going on here. So obviously this is the spider emblem, and it's painted in black, and it's pretty well done. And then we've got the two lower legs that are sculpted onto the torso, but the other 6 are these tendrils, and they're kind of going everywhere. They're all unique. They all seem to be different. None of them are the same as far as I can tell. They all look like they're their own unique thing. And in a general sense, you know, in terms of just the design element, I think it's pretty sweet. I think it's cool. It's kind of different. He definitely pops when he's standing out against other figures. There is no doubt about that. My only consideration with these is that I kind of wish that you could push him back a bit, because they do kind of get in the way of his sight lines when you kind of turn his head and pose him. It's like he's looking right at them, when of course is not what he's going to be doing. I kind of wish I could maybe do something like this, have him kind of flow around him or something. I guess you could heat him up and do that. If I'm going to do that, I have no idea. Probably not. I tend to get lazy when it comes to that kind of stuff. But I do think they're pretty sweet. I like the idea behind it. And even for not knowing, you know, what he is, it's a cool design. So yeah, there's not a great deal to talk about with this figure. He is kind of a what you see is what you get type of figure. And in a general sense, I like him. He looks cool. He's got solid paint apps where they are. He's got a cool design. You know, I don't have to know anything about him to appreciate him as a toy, and that's kind of where I am. I know nothing about what he is, but I think he looks sweet. He stands out on the shelf. He's got a weird, cool design. The only real downside for me is that I wish he had more paint apps. I would have liked to have seen more of that silver piping on the body. I just think it would make everything stand out a little bit more if they had gone that extra mile and added a little bit more embellishment to his design. So that is going to do it for this look at the Marvel Legends Poison figure from Hasbro. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and until next time.